over the years, we've got many Arkham games with Batman being the main character. But what if, instead, this time, the Bat Family members got their own well-deserved Arkham games? Why should the Bat Family members get their own Arkham game? This video idea was suggested by Alex-NG6HC. Now, the Bat Family members I'm gonna be including are Nightwing, Batgirl, and Robin. Now, we did get to see them in Gotham Knights, which at first everyone was so excited for, and it makes tons of sense. We were finally getting a game that was focused on the Bat family outside from just Batman, and we thought it might have even at first been connected to the Arkham games. Later we found out, no, it was not. Still, it just ended up turning out bad, and the game did not perform very well. People didn't like it too much, and it just did not represent the characters that good, make them that much more popular, since people weren't playing it and people just weren't happy and satisfied with the game that we got. So if the Arkham games went ahead and did this, made real good proper games for these characters, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Robin, this is the time for them finally to shine as their own character, to finally also get a good game for these characters, which I'm sure I would not be the only one excited about, but as well as so many other Arkham fans, because as much as we love Batman, we like the other Bat Family members so much as well. Nightwing was the first Robin, and he wasn't used throughout all of the Arkham games, only in Arkham City, though not in the main story, but later in Arkham Knight, he was used decently enough during the main story and in side missions as well. I find that his combat style makes him a very fun character to play as. He's got a lot of flashy moves and cool kicks and acrobatic style. We saw during Arkham Knight, Nightwing really cared for Batman and of course wanted to help him and be there for him. His character during the Arkham games seems to be very well portrayed and have a lot of the traits and attributes that we all know Nightwing so well for. This is great, however, we just don't get to see him enough. It would be so much nicer if we got to see him a lot more. And if Nightwing was to get his own Arkham game, that would let us see so much more of his character in the Arkham universe. He's a fan favorite and pretty much almost everyone loves him. There's not many people that dislike him since he's such a likable character. It would allow us to see even more of his character in the Arkham games, more of the things he went through or challenges and villains he had to overcome. We could also see when in the Arkham timeline he became both Robin and Nightwing. He could give us both an emotionally driven story and a game full of action. Even just seeing how he spends his own time dealing with the criminals would be very cool, as I'm sure he would have continued doing so after Arkham Knight. This would also let us see how he's dealing with Batman being gone. Of course, if that really is the case, I see most fans being happy with an Arkham Nightwing game being made, which makes it a reliable game to make. Though he was underused, not given the attention his character deserves, since he is usually seen as one of DC's most liked characters and just best characters in general, the most liked Robin most of the time. It would have made a lot more sense for, in the Arkham games, us to get to see him a lot more and him to be used a lot more effectively. Of course though, we have to remember the games were always mainly focusing on Batman, so this could be the potential argument for why we didn't see Nightwing that much and he wasn't used to a great extent. I still feel, however, his character, if he got his own Arkham game, will definitely shine. The game will most likely lead to great success for his character, Batgirl. If she got her own Arkham game, I believe it would be great due to the fact that she would either be Batgirl in it and Oracle. I like the Killing Joke storyline so much, and I feel like they could use this so effectively within a Batgirl game, showing us in depth how much it affected her, her mental state, reaction. She's very intelligent, especially at using technology to gain the information about the criminals and find things out. Though, even as Batgirl, she would still be great, being a martial artist, and obviously being Batgirl without Officer Gordon knowing. We could get to see much more of her past when she first became Batgirl, or just even more of what she had to go through as Oracle throughout the Arkham games, or even later after Arkham Knight, how she's handling Batman being gone, whether she's seeing her team up with the rest of the Bat family still, using technology in a very advanced way with Batman gone. I feel like though they could make a horror themed game with her character, since The Killing Joke was a storyline that was both so tragic and terrifying at the same time. It left her handicapped. We never got to see that much of her during the Arkham games. She was only in Arkham Knight, but she definitely played an important role in helping Batman. She has a big advantage being such a great hacker. Getting a game with her would give us such a unique style due to the way she would approach dealing with the villains and criminals using her hacking skills. Now, this would be a good game to finally bring some positive light to her character, since her character hasn't got much in the past. Robin, or Tim Drake. He was in both Arkham City and Arkham Knight. He was used in the main story quite a bit during Arkham Knight. He had replaced Jason Todd, and this obviously in the storyline got a lot to Jason Todd because Joker tricked him, made him think that Batman just didn't care about him anymore and just decided to replace him and like whatever. Though Tim Drake, he had nothing to do with this, so it's not actually fair for Jason to be mad at Tim. We did get to play as him a little bit during Arkham Knight in the main story as well, and he tried to be honest and helpful to Batman. There is multiple side missions with him in Arkham City and Arkham Knight. He uses his staff to fight. After all, he's quite intelligent and a pretty skilled Robin. But during the Arkham games, it feels like we didn't see enough of his character, more just to be used for parts of the story, and his character wasn't given the attention in a way that he deserved. They never went that in depth with his character, like seeing him become Robin. Many of the experiences he went through, never got to see him help Batman out that much. A lot of the time what he was doing was more unknown and it wasn't acknowledged. It would be great to get a game with him because he definitely deserves to get some spotlight on his character, and being Robin, the experience, having to deal with the criminals and the villains, knowing that he's Batman's sidekick, and the reputation Robin has for being known as Batman's sidekick, since he was probably dealing with these criminals by himself a lot of the time or with other members of the Bat family. Also, in media, his character, they never really go that in depth with. Of course, he's in the Lego Batman games, but you could argue that's not the best representation of his character. It's a more silly take on his character. He's also probably the most unpopular Robin, with the other three all being shown way more in media, and their characters get taken and shown much more in depth, way more often. The details and facts about the characters being shown and portrayed accurately and often enough, giving them their own reputation as a character for what they're like. This means being Robin is a big deal, and Tim Drake definitely should get his own Arkham game, since it would bring so much attention to his character, him during his time being Robin in the Arkham universe. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Which one of these Bat Family members would you want to see get an Arkham game the most? Or would you want to see every one of these characters get an Arkham game? What are some things you'd like to see included in Arkham games with these characters? Or just some things in general you would like to point out? Guys, remember to subscribe and to turn on notifications. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in another Cosmic Chaos video. Bye!